Hello, audience. Normally, I just record one video and that's enough for today, but I just want to record a little bonus addition to this video, maybe as a part two. And because as I was talking, there's something clicked. I mentioned the breath of life, and there's something clicked in my mind, and I realized the significance of the seed of life. Not that I wasn't aware of it before, but now it just clicked everything into full motion. The seed of life, the egg of life, the flower of life, and the fruit of life. And then everything is encoded by the Metatron's cube. This. This contains all forms and states of life and death. This little interesting stuff. That is the ultimate key to the universe. And I have one. Anyway. All right, enough. So, okay, let's get to the juicy scientific part of it. Right. What does the seed of life mean? Check this out. Seed of life, you can denominate like a point in a circle, and then you can draw 6 circles around it if you want. But essentially, the seed of light is a point in a circle, and a circle symbolizes the state of consciousness of stillness, the background of everything, the ultimate and eternal stillness, infinity, innocence. Again, you get the point, right? And the point is a spark, is a desire. So whenever you have a desire that you want to fulfill, the first order of the business is go back all the way to the primordial states of consciousness, to that innocence, and facing that desire. What is going to happen at the first, if you really zoom in into that seed of that desire inside you, okay, because you can find that very center of this thing that it was kind of nagging you and moving around and great anxiety, depression, whatever. You can find the very essence of it, that very single point. But you can only do this with a lot of stillness and peace and surrender, whatever you want to call it. Again, but you're moving to the point in the circle state, as sometimes people call Satchitananda. And so you need that trigger, you need that to get to that state. And with this type of intention, you may get, you of course, you may not, okay, I shouldn't say that you may or may not, but ultimately that state symbolizes bliss, okay? If you are, I'm not saying that you need to practice, but if you encounter that bliss in the background of the stillness that originally was the nuance or like a desire, once you find it, desire will be fulfilled in a state of white bliss, if you will. You'll literally be ecstatic. You see, that's what's going to happen. You're going to be ecstatic, because that's what it is. That's what it's like for desire to be in the background of that innocence, that stillness. Now, it may not be this way at first. It may be that you just feel a little bit of relaxation and a little bit of pleasant sensation. I'm talking about the ultimate, states of consciousness that everybody's looking for, which, by the way, is not difficult to accomplish. You don't need to practice. It's always here. And anyway, so if you're interested, I want to do one-on-ones. Again, just like hit me up in the comments, or hit me up in some other way, and I can show it to you very quickly with talking one-on-one of how to encounter those states of consciousness that from where everything can be seen as perfect. It's a bit trippy. You feel a bit like it, you may be tripping on LSD or feel a little high, but there's no drugs involved, just the natural state of consciousness. So anyway, without getting too expanded on this, let's move on with the this game of life. Then it moves into the egg of life, and the egg of life, if you count the bubbles, there is 12 bubbles, okay? And those each of these 12 eggs, once you fertilized the you know, you were just now in a mother's womb as a sperm, and that state of consciousness. Now it's moving towards more specific, because at first it was just pure bliss without differentiation. Now it's moving as one of those 12, or the combination of the 12 states of consciousness, which can include love, joy, ecstasy, and um, I shouldn't use that word ecstasy because it's kind of confusing. If we mean by ecstasy that ultimate white bliss state, then let's just keep it. But it could be um, like we can use the word euphoria, okay, um, orgasmic sensations, or states basically of consciousness, right? And apparently there are 12 of them, and to be honest with you, I've sort of encountered a few of these states of consciousness, and I'm still, to be completely honest with you, I'm still learning about those 12 states of consciousness, okay? And so I'm not gonna get into something that I don't yet know, but I do know that the states of joy, once you've done with this first, facing it all the way, there's a states of joy that comes along, right? Which is what is the fulfillment of desire that was there in the first place. Desire may have been something, I don't know, could be simple. Create an experience for somebody that makes you feel great, and seeing somebody um, accomplishing what they want to accomplish, or whatever you want to accomplish, what kind of joy, that joy happens. And like I said, it's more. There's not just joy. There's 12 of these euphoric states, ecstatic states, okay? Because of course you can see that it's not just one ecstasy. There seems to be all sorts of things that are happening inside you, kogol mogul, as they say. So, but that's the egg of life. The egg of life is good news because you're fertilizing, and that desire is growing. You start experiencing the states of consciousness spontaneously. That's wonderful news. That desire is now on the way of being fulfilled, and you're already feeling the feelings that desire would bring anyway, okay? Then it morphs into and this at this point is, we're dealing with the circles only. Then it morphs into the flower of life. And the flower of life, now this is where you start entering into the existence of triangles. And Terence Howard kind of showed that there are these triangles that you can withdraw as you just basically straight up triangle, and then you can withdraw these elegant triangles. But existence of triangles signifies the mind, the imaginary mind, the higher mind, right? That's where you dream. So you may start having dreams about the thing that you are fulfilled in a states of, consciousness of fulfillment. Now you start going into your mind and you start dreaming about it, okay? And you may have the dreams like, I dreamed about this thing coming true and stuff like that. Okay, great. That's the flower of life. It's flowering now. It's great news. And now all you gotta do is wait for the fruit to come in. And what is the fruit? The fruit contains all the other ones. It contains the seed of life, the egg of life, the flower of life, and now it's a material fruit of life. And if you've ever seen the fruit of life drawn, you can see that there's a cube in there somehow, right? From the geometry, the cube arises. And then again, you can see the circle, soul, the triangle, mind, the cube, body, physical world, mental world, soul world. Okay, so now you're actually experiencing the thing manifesting in your world, but it's not just material manifestation. Now, because you have done this soul fulfillment of the soul desire in the way that I've described, which is the correct way of living your life. I say it correct. I'm not, anyway. So I'm going to touch on what happens when you go the other way. So now what you have a material unfoldment of your desire. You can see it right here in your physical world. That's the fruit of life. But the fruit of life also contains what you've been dreaming about. It has this dreamy quality to it, right? Whatever the value the dreams bring, it's there packed into this fruit of life that is a material manifestation of the thing that you've desired. And then there's also all these states of consciousness that you felt individually are packed in there too. You feel the joy, you feel all these different, and at the very deep down center, you feel that seed of life bliss also. And it's this bliss, there's a shape of bliss, which may be joy in this occasion. There's this dreamy quality of your manifestation, which it's difficult for me to describe, but you probably can kind of relate when you're experiencing something dreamy. It takes a different type of quality. You're much more vividly immersed in it, especially if the dream that you had was a vivid dream. And on top of all that, it's packed in the material manifestation. Okay, so it's full of fulfillment on all the levels. It's that's a full abundance of life, so to speak. You have not missed a single step. You've catered your garden, so to speak, throughout the way, and it came. And you honestly, the hardest work is to plant the seed. The hardest work is to plant the seed. And because it comes up as this pain, anxiety, or depression, or whatever, and that's the hardest one. Because, like, hey, are you going to take that energy and bring it to the state of innocence while you are still focused on that? Are you going to do that? If you're going to do that, you are planting the seed, okay? And you're going to bring it to some euphoric state, and that will change into other states, differentiate, and that will change into dreaming, and that will change into manifestation. This is why in the previous video I said this is what we're here to do. This, what I'm describing, is forever and infinite. It's never ending. We've been doing this forever, and we're going to be doing this forever. And you can imagine how many permutations of the fulfillment of desire there can be. And this is why it's like always an infinite awesomeness in life if you start living life in this direction. It just keeps getting better and better and better and better and better. Something that's logically not supposed to be possible. But perceptually, it is happening. Shh, it's just between us girls, okay? Well, and now it's time to let's do this, let's do this. And like I said, if you the seed is what's the important part, and if you're having issues with the seed part, just let me know. Honestly, I want to do one-on-one. Okay, I want to do one-on-ones, and get that ball rolling, baby boy or baby girl. Let's do this. Woodkiss do this. Peace.